Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to About Nothing But Sports. I'm your host, Ashley Baker, and thank you guys for tapping in, tuning in weekly as you always do. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support, appreciate the feedback, and I appreciate just you guys just rolling with me, man. You always checking for me whenever I'm dropping content, whenever I'm dropping my podcast. So I simply adore you guys for that. And y'all are gonna adore me for this, okay? For this dope guest that I have on today. Thank you. Look, I'm so excited that you are here. I couldn't wait to get you on, Mr. Josiah Johnson. Listen, I made a middle name for you. Josiah Twitter Meme King Johnson. You probably heard it a couple times. It's cool. I might have took that from somebody already.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
It's always good to feel the love. I know we had this on the schedule for a while, so I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. Listen, for those that don't know, Josiah is just constantly lighting the internet on fire with his sports memes. I have been dying to ask how you do it, so I'm getting into those details on this show. I'm just letting you know we're gonna tap into some other stuff.
We're gonna do it.
But I'm definitely gonna get into the details just of how it comes to you, your thought process, because you be quick with it, and I absolutely love that. So let's start here though before we start jumping into that and jumping into some sports talk, because I love your sports takes as well. Let's talk about how you got here, man. Like, let's talk about I'm trying to remember when I started following you. I think it may have been right around that time. Damn, was it maybe a little bit before AD went to the Lakers?
Okay.
Maybe like right around that time. So is that like when it really started to like blow up for you, or were you already like at that point by then? Like, how did you get to where you are now? Because you are like king on Twitter.
I mean, appreciate you. First and foremost, just a lot of hard work, a lot of energy, a lot of, just staying focused and just loving basketball, the sports community, NBA Twitter community. So super thankful for the opportunity that a platform like Twitter has given all of us to really be out there, grow, being able to do shows like this with yourself and just seeing people in the community across, all across the different team Twitters, national Twitter, all that good stuff. But people doing shows now, podcasts, and just getting tremendous, amazing opportunities. For me, I started in the entertainment side, sports entertainment, out of college, started working with NFL Network, Showtime, a bunch of other different spots, doing stuff behind the scenes, but always had a love and curiosity with social. Never really used Twitter or Instagram or any of those platforms at first. Just I felt like it would be, I didn't know how to monetize it, so I felt like it would be a waste of my time, and I would just be on there all day, every day, which kind of was the case. But really, this I had a TV show on Comedy Central called Legends of Chamberlain Heights that ran for a couple seasons back in 2016, 2017. So up until that point, wasn't really the biggest social media person, just didn't really care about it. But as that show started to come to fruition, I just really kind of just got a deep love for social, started to really lock in and did a lot of stuff on the show account. So just kind of, did a ton of research, looking at shows that I like Game of Thrones, like Insecure, what Issa was able to do, just really building a community around these shows. And for me, I saw, digital and social as a way to be able to promote, constantly. Like back in the old days, it was commercials, it was billboards, it was stuff like that. Right. I just don't really feel like that resonates with the community, with our demo anymore. People aren't really checking for billboards and things. But what I noticed was Twitter and social and shows like Insecure, they would, she would run the show on Sunday, but for the rest of the week, Monday through Saturday, up until the next episode, everybody would be talking about it, buzzing about it. The Lawrence Hive, the Issa Hive, all that good stuff. But just, and then seeing the way that people connected, communicated with it. So when I was doing Legends of Chamberlain Heights, I kind of just dove head first into it, learned a lot, had a lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff, a lot of trial and error just to really help build it. And then after the show got canceled 2017, I really just started to lock in and focus just on my own social and really trying to build a following. And again, it was a lot of just testing, doing a bunch of different stuff. Some of the stuff was good, some of the stuff wasn't, but learning from everything. I think the thing that people, have to learn when you're in social is sometimes you're going to get packed up. Sometimes you're going to get tomatoes. Sometimes people aren't going to really rock with whatever your take or your opinion or whatever that is, but just to fight through all that stuff and to learn. And for me, I don't like that stuff. So as I was doing it, I was like, all right, I got to figure out ways to avoid that at all costs. I don't want to get packed up. I don't like that feeling. I'm sure nobody does. So really just started to lock in and focus on the stuff that I was interested in, which is the basketball, a little bit of football, maybe some baseball occasionally, politics, whatever, whatever stuff that I'm interested in, focus on those communities and just providing content. And especially, things really started to take off for me probably late 2019 and 2020 into the pandemic. everybody's at home, everybody's, kind of
Mm.
feeling down as they're dealing
Yep.
with COVID and all the things that are going on with it, being locked up in that crib, which I'm 40 years old. I've never seen anything like that. And I'm sure nobody else has really experienced anything like that, what we've been dealing with these past few years. But just wanted to be able to entertain people, help people get through their day, just be able to offer a bastion of light and a little bit of humor and comedy as you're going through your day, the various stuff you may be dealing with. You can look at your phone, check Twitter real quick, and, see, I'm going to have a take on something or a joke or a meme or whatever it may be, just to make people laugh, make people smile. So really, I was doing it for my own entertainment, but also knowing that, all the stuff I was going through, depression and all that kind of stuff of just dealing with not being able to get out the house,
Yes.
obviously the virus and just kind of everything that was going on with that, losing loved ones. And I know other people getting impacted by that. So for me, it was like, look, if you can have just, even a minute or two out of your day, you can check Twitter, see some jokes, see something that might put you in a good mood, might help you just get through it. So I've really just been grinding with that. Now that's opened up so many opportunities for me. I'm doing a show with Gilbert Arenas called No Chill with Gilbert Arenas on Fubo, doing a show with Wave TV called Out of Pocket, which airs on their Buckets channel, doing some work with Showtime Basketball, doing some stuff behind the scenes with Spring Hill, LeBron James, obviously, who's my GOAT, my favorite basketball player. So just to be able to leverage everything I've been able to do on social and building a following and now use that to create opportunities for myself, it's been truly a blessing. And, I would tweet for free and I would do that stuff anyway. So now to be able to get paid to do some of the things
Mm.
I'm doing, it's I just got to smile every day and thank God and just keep grinding. And that's the thing. I never get too high, never get too low, never start drinking a Kool-Aid. Like you call me the Twitter meme king. I don't really believe in titles and all that stuff. I just kind of go because people will build you up to tear you down. So
Exactly. That's
I just
true.
I just keep grinding, keep going, and just having a good time doing it, and also being able to inspire the next generation of creatives, people like ourselves who I never would imagine I'd have some of the opportunities I get to have, and doing some of the shows I get to do, and being around some of the people I get to be around. So being able to leverage this stuff, but also show people coming up like you can do this too. I like to say, I feel like I'm special, but there's nothing really special about what I'm doing. It's just hard work. It's the effort and continually doing it. So I want other people to be able to see that too and say, look, man, one day hopefully I can be like Josiah and be doing cool stuff like that. So I just try to be a resource, a mentor to as many people as possible, and really just show them what the game is. And there's so much money here. I don't need all the money. Like everybody, I'm more happy for everybody else to be doing their thing. And nothing makes me happier than to see people, start somewhere and keep building and put that work in and get rewarded and see success come as a result of it. So I'm gonna keep grinding. I hope everybody else keeps grinding too.
I love that. And one of the couple of things I took from that, number one, you might not believe this, but I might be like one of the only people on the planet, that's of the culture. I have not watched Insecure.
Okay.
I have
Look,
not, I know, and I feel like I don't know why. It's crazy because man, you like you said, social always buzzing about Insecure, and I kind of felt like I already knew what was happening because of social. I
yeah,
didn't necessarily watch the show, so that's the first thing. The second thing, the second and third thing I feel like I got from you though is number one, learning how to. So folks, listen. Number one, learning how to not just stay in your lane but own your lane. I
exactly.
feel like that is literally 2 years ago. I finally, after been doing this for 7, 8 years, I finally learned about 2 years ago. Stay in your lane, Ash, but own it. Like own your lane. Like you're this loud, boisterous. They call me hot takeish person, whatever the case may be. But that's what make you you. And if you're so busy trying to be like everybody else, then you don't stand out.
Definitely.
And then also consistency. Being consistent is key. I feel like you always on it, and it's crazy because obviously I noticed the different projects that you got going on and the different things you're doing. That does not stop you from dropping funny memes. And you see me, I'll quote teach you all the time, be like, somebody take this man phone, take this
Always.
man phone. He's you. It's hilarious. So that's really good to hear. That's really inspirational. It's definitely inspirational for somebody like me. I feel like Twitter has been that thing for me too, that has completely blown my life up in a great way, as far as my career, my profession, and being able to do and talk this stuff and be getting paid for it. And so it doesn't really feel like work. For you, I'm pretty sure it doesn't feel like work at all.
No, I mean, look, it's fun, but it's, I
Yeah.
mean, but people, you got to put that work in. And there's times, I might wake up and I don't feel like doing stuff, like
Yeah.
everybody else, even like looking at what you're doing with this pod, like, nobody's sitting here making you do this. You really got to find that drive and motivation.
Yeah.
And just know, when I first started, I wasn't doing the type of numbers that I'm doing now. But like you mentioned, just being consistent as possible, working, learning, growing, actually doing, it's funny. Like I see all these people that work in social media and have all these cool job titles, whatever. But a lot of them haven't really ever got it out the mud. They've never really had to grow and build an account and learn from the good
Yeah.
and the bad, right? There's a lot of bad to it as well. And that's the stuff that'll make you stronger because as social can be extremely toxic at times.
Yeah.
You got some miserable people out there who would love nothing more than to tear you down and tell you how much they hate you and all this stuff. And I've seen all of it. So for me, and this is the thing I try to really just, encourage other people. You're going to get some of that stuff, but you got to fight through it. Now, a lot of those same people used to hate on me back in the day, hit me up, call me big bro, and, asking for advice and all that good stuff. And, I'm older now. So when I was younger, I was super petty. I would take a lot of that stuff personal and hold
Right.
grudges and, be vindictive and all that type of stuff. And I'll happily admit all that now. But for me, it's just really embracing the community and anybody. We talked about doing this for weeks. And it's like, yo, if I got time on my schedule, I'll always happily pull up and really motivate and encourage because I'm excited to see where your show's at now, where it's going to be a year from now, where it's going to be 5 years from now. You're going to be on network doing TV stuff, stuff you might have never dreamed that you'd be doing,
Yeah.
but all because you had to teach yourself and learn. And I think that's an important thing for everybody in this space and in this world now. We have so much opportunities. Everybody's got a Wi-Fi connection. Everybody's got a phone. And just with that alone, you look at all these TikTok stars and Instagram stars and all these
Yeah.
people who may not be well embraced by mainstream, but are making huge amounts of money on branded deals and content deals and all this
Correct.
other great stuff out there. So it's a way to really support your family. And this is kind of the, Draymond Green always talks about the new media. I think this all kind of encapsulates what that new media really is. It's people like yourself, people like myself, creating opportunities for themselves by utilizing social. Like, and believe me, if that's not your thing, more power to you.
Facts.
But when I'm coming to Twitter, when I'm coming to these spaces, it's to do work. It's to have a good time as well, it's to make people laugh. But ultimately, there's a goal in mind, and every time I kind of reach a new goal, it's like you got to make new goals and aim higher and keep aiming and really, like I
It's
said,
like you
there's
never
stuff
stop, right? It's almost
never.
like it's so crazy, but it's like I can't explain. I'll say, this is what it's like to feel your to be doing what you're passionate about, like to find your passion in life, because I'm never not talking, discussing, making content,
Yeah,
never not doing that stuff when it comes to sports. But because it's my passion, because I love it so much, like I was saying, it just never feels like work. I'm okay with not stopping. I'm learning to balance. I'm a mom. I have 2 kids.
yeah, I already
So
know.
I'm learning to like work balance. How do you like work balance with the personal and because you've already blown up. You're there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So how did you I'll ask you this because this will personalize it a little more for me. I think right now I am dealing with work balance. So got a new PR folk. She's about to start booking me for different things.
yeah.
I'm already, working in sports. I work with Odyssey. I'm doing this. I'm on my Twitter spaces. I'm doing like a million things. So what's a good piece of advice for me, for those listening, for those that, are looking to be in this space and will need this advice at some point or another? What's your advice as far as that work balance?
I mean, you got to have it. I got 2 kids as well, and I think for me, the
Okay.
most important thing is making sure that they know they're loved. They know that their mother and father are there for them whenever they need it. And it's tough, a lot of people don't have that luxury, right? Might have to work multiple jobs, they might have to do a lot of stuff. But first and foremost, you got to just focus on your mental health and doing the stuff like you mentioned. This is work, but it's not work. Like people might sit here and think, "Oh, this is easier." He don't have to put no work in. You got to go. You have to grind. Like I'm a workaholic. I love work. I'm always grinding. Same thing when you're a content creator and you deal in this space, as any moment, we might be chilling, might think it's an off day, some news breaks, this Donovan
Exactly.
Mitchell trade may go through, or KD trade may happen, or Kyrie trade, and it's all hands on deck. I think about a week or two ago when the KD news dropped. At that point, that was just like an explosion. Nobody was expecting it, but you got to grind now. Whatever the content's going to be, whatever you're doing. But you got to find time for your family as well and the things that are most important to you. So I've been able to now create a lane for myself that I can have a lot more time to focus on the things I want to focus on. I've done that whole network life, 12, 14, 16-hour days, 10, 15 days straight, all that stuff. And I look back at my younger self, and that was appropriate for what I was doing then. Now it's like, I really want to budget my time out correctly so I can do the things that are important, focus on my mental health, make sure I exercise. And that's the thing I would encourage everybody to do. no matter your physical stature, whatever it may be. But if you can get some exercise in every day, just what that does for me mentally, physically, I might go ride the exercise bike or go jog around the neighborhood or whatever it may be. But during that time, I'm also working, thinking, and really just kind of trying to uplift and figure out ways to make myself better. But focus on all that stuff. I think first and foremost, family's most important. Really, your loved ones, the people that care about you. Make sure you have enough time for them. Focus on them. Check up on them. We've seen recently a lot of stuff in the sports community and in the comedy community where people might do some things and be completely unexpected, but just knowing that, check up on people, see how they're doing. People don't really understand how valuable just a phone call or a text or whatever it may be. I know how important it is to me when people just reach out to see how I'm doing. They don't want nothing, just how you doing. Like,
Yes.
I'm the same kind of way. What can I help you with? And I think for us, all of us in this community, in this world, one thing it's really, I've taken from this NBA Twitter thing is, like, I don't care. Like, I'm a big LeBron fan. I'm a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
But that don't mean Warriors or Celtics or whoever, we might beef over basketball takes, whatever it may be. That's fine. Separate that from, I tell my friends all the time, they'll get into beefs with people on social media, and I know both of them, they don't know each other. It's like, man, I'm gonna fight this dude, whatever. So you're gonna fight him because you think MJ's the GOAT and he thinks Kobe's the GOAT. And
right.
It's like, y'all might have so much more other stuff in common. And I think, at the core, we all love our families. We love our kids if we have them. We love the people that are closest to us. So don't let that stuff get in the way of being able to develop, even people that come at me sometimes, I'll pull them to the side. I don't need to make no big show of it on Twitter, but just pull them to the side. Like, look, I could be a person that can help you or I can hurt you. You know what I mean? Like, I can help you get to where you want to go, or, your name could come up in meetings and I'll be like, oh, I don't mess with them. So don't give them that job. And I try to stay away from that because I want to be able to uplift and help people get to where they need to get to. But I'm sure you might hear the kids in the background now yelling.
Kiddos.
That's just a part of the game. But yeah, just finding that work-life balance and making sure you stick to it, get on good routines. Like I said, exercise, eat right, do all the things you need to do to make yourself better, because that's going to impact the work as well. Like if you don't got the energy or you're not, in good physical fit or shape or whatever.
I gotta do better with exercising, Josiah. I really
and it's not hard. 15, 20 minutes, whatever.
Like
just
a walk. I need to do that better. I'm about to start. I'm about to kick off this smoothie cleanse that I've been putting on for the last 3 days. But I'm about to like smoothie cleanse it out and get some exercise in. And what I've noticed is that it's a little bit of time away from it creates this crazy fresh bunch of creativity that I have, so just a little bit of time. I know we're so involved in it, like you said, at any minute anything can pop off, but it's also really important to just have that away time, even if it's just a little bit, because I know for me it sparks so much creativity, and next thing I know I got this in mind. I want to do this. I write that stuff down so I can keep it in mind for when I'm ready to
That's the one thing I'll tell everybody: write stuff down. I email myself, I'll DM myself, I'll text myself, because you have some great ideas sometimes, and if you don't write them down, you can be like, what was that again?
Yes,
and it don't need to be perfect, or it don't need to be completely
and then it takes
streamlined.
stress off of your brain. You know what I mean? So you, like you said, you're not struggling and damn, what did I think about? Like I call it a brain dump. Like I try to write every day, like personal, professional, whatever, just get it out. And that way I ain't stressing about, let me try to remember. Cause this is such a busy season in general in our lives. So again, y'all are tuned into About Nothing But Sports with myself, Ashley Baker, and Mr. Josiah Johnson. Listen, I know you said you don't like to get built up. I don't like to get built up. They call me certain names, hot take queen, all this stuff on social, whatever. But
it's good though. And when people are doing that, you're going in the right direction.
I know. It's all right. So check this out. I have a question. Your top 3 sports memes.
Okay.
I try to go back in my mind and think. There have been nights, boy, where you will tweet something and I'm in my bed and I mean busting a gut, crying, laughing at something. And I think the most recent one that just had me in tears is it was something with the Commanders, and it was with Dan Snyder, and you tweeted the guy that was like, I don't have the capacity, the guy that was crying at the podium. When I tell you I was in the floor, like it's been many nights for me, and I'm like, this, like he gone. It's in a funny like, comical way.
I test that fence. I used to be a lot more out of pocket than I am now. Out of pocket was kind of the brand and everything I kind of really prided myself on. But ultimately now, as I've grown and I've got people like LeBron following me and Steph following me, and I'm a big LeBron fan. We used to go as Steph fans, but I want these guys to also know too, it's nothing personal. I want them to be able to be in on the joke. Don't try to attack guys. We saw a lot of that with Russell Westbrook. in the
Yeah.
Lakers Twitter community. And a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff just turned super mean spirited. And at the end of the day, I think these people are human beings too. They
Correct.
have feelings. No matter how much money you make in life, you got feelings. And, when people are tearing you down, that stuff hurts. So I try to just be more on the positive side. Now, naturally, I'm going to get the jokes in always, but do it in a way where, if a team might be playing bad, I'm not going to key in on certain players. I might go at the team as a whole and really just find, the humor and comedy stuff. But I've made so much stuff now. It's funny, and it's crazy to say, but I forget a lot of stuff. So sometimes I'll just be scrolling through Twitter, looking at old stuff that I did. Like, damn, I don't remember doing that. But in that moment, just being locked in and keyed in on it. So for me, favorite meme probably of all time is I did one with Antonio Brown. This is back in 2019. He went to the Patriots, and obviously the Patriots are known for doing things the Patriots way. Josh Gordon was already there. I'm a big fan of Josh's, but I did a scene from Get Out with when Lakeith's character's in the sunken place, and that was Antonio Brown, showing up to the Patriots facility and seeing Josh Gordon, and kind of things is different over here.
Oh yeah, I know. Just
So Jordan Peele actually ended up seeing that one, following me, quote tweeting it.
wow.
And that's where I kind of first really learned, there's a whole world and culture in here. And I've seen a lot of different social teams that have done a lot of this type of stuff, but a lot of, just to be candid, they didn't really have the makeup of the world, right? It was a lot of, a lot of teams that were all white, or, they were taking a lot from Black culture, not really understanding, the stuff that they were doing, but saying oh, Ash put up a meme that did great. I'm gonna grab that and now I can use it for this or whatever. So for me, it's just, this is the thing I kind of really try to, especially in sports social for people, is you got to live. I'm 40 years old. Yeah. So a lot of these kids are in their early 20s, and more power to them. But I've got, 18, 20 more years experience on this planet, all the things I've seen, the songs I've heard, the movies, the memes, the moments. So try to live as much as possible, learn about, and I get to see all the stuff that they're into too. And it's tough, I'm not a SpongeBob guy. Like I always say, you'll never see a SpongeBob meme come off my page. Not knocking the show. I know a lot of people grew up with that, but I'm more of, the Saved by the Bell, and that was kind of stuff that was rocking when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So, but just ultimately to say, stay in your lane with the stuff that you're doing, but also learn kind of with the other stuff. I get a lot of feedback sometimes from the younger kids when I post stuff that they don't get, and they get mad that everybody in my demo loves it. And it's like, man, that's not even funny, whatever. And it's funny to us. This is what, this is who I'm communicating with at this point. This one isn't for everybody. Correct. But finding those different pockets, one. And then sometimes I'll do stuff we're great because we live in a world now where everything is instantaneous and social. A moment happens, you watch a game. And growing up when I was a kid, I'm thinking about shows like The Simpsons and things like that. We would come and talk about that at school the next day. So if you didn't watch it, you definitely, you would miss out on that convo and wouldn't really feel a part of that stuff. It's the same thing now. We watching a game and we all see that one singular moment, Katie's ashy ankle, whatever it may be, right? And we all key in on that, and we're all living that moment live with each other, communicating, engaging, finding moments I think the latest thing is that Donovan Mitchell wants to get traded, or, Rudy Gobert gets traded, or whatever, just the things that go on in the community, especially basketball space, that we now get to converse about right away. We don't have to wait. I remember back in the day when I first started doing social, Twitter didn't have native video posting. So you had to wait for somebody to upload it to YouTube, then had to grab the YouTube link, bring it to Twitter. So somebody got dunked on. You might not see that clip for 10 to 15 minutes. Now, thanks to people like Worldwide Wob, all the other great people out there that are doing amazing stuff for the community, that play happens, and he's going to have that clip up before they show a replay in the game at points. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Do they find that stoppage and play to show it? That clip is already up. It's already going out. If somebody says something for good or bad, people grab onto that stuff. So it's really just being locked in the moment. I think the other important thing is I'm at a space now where if I miss something, I miss it. I'm not worried about it.
I can't wait to get to that point.
It hurts though, because sometimes it'd be big stuff, and it's like, damn, I missed this major news, or I'm hours late. And then there's other times when I'm right on it, right when that news breaks. I've had points. I was out at Summer League in Las Vegas, for about 11 days, too long for Vegas for anybody who knows.
Hey, that's a long. I'm about to say, boy, that's a long time.
I'm still feeling it now. I've been tired this whole week, kind of getting it back together. But I'm on the air doing a show with Showtime, and some news breaks. I think it was DeAndre Ayton in the Pacers when he first got the offer sheet, and you just got to go because everybody's talking about it. So I'm on the air trying to fire tweets off and do that stuff. But it's it's finding that balance, but also just being locked in. And if this is the space you want to be in, this is called social media for a reason. You got to be social. It ain't anti-social media. It ain't, it ain't scheduled media. It ain't any of those other words. It's just social. So create conversations, engage with people. And for me, I love to being able to build an audience and build up a fan base, but also having people kind of share moments. I ask a lot of random questions on Twitter at times, whatever's going on in my head, but I like to see people's stories. And I'll also be self-deprecating. Like I've had times in my life where, I played basketball at UCLA and done some amazing things, but there was time, I might have, somebody might have served me on the court or dominated me or embarrassed me or whatever, but I also know that other people have shared those same experiences. So let's create a space where we can all talk about that. Let it be a therapy session. Everybody can talk about those moments that maybe they're not the happiest about, but then also share your wins and don't do it in a way where you're bragging or boasting or trying to, be arrogant about it. But ultimately, like, it's important when you're successful and you do things to share. So I always try to do that in a way too, where it's respectful of the community, but also showing people like, look, like I can't be the only person here. So we need other people to help fill this space. Why not you? You know what I mean? Why can't you be the one to do it as well and grow?
You preaching. Look, y'all hear him dropping gems because I'm over here keyed in. I really appreciate it. Yeah, man, that's good stuff. You mentioned that sometimes you'll dabble into football. Who's your football team?
I'm a Raiders fan. Grew up in LA, so
I got y'all going to the Super Bowl this year.
I'm super excited to try and get out to Vegas. I'm only going back to Vegas again before next summer league for either some Usher or a Raiders game. I think that was the only.
Listen,
or John Legend, who's out there too. I'm a rock with John Legend.
Let me tell you something. So I don't know if Spence and Crawford are going to like sign their fight deal, but I'm hearing that it's in like it'll be in Vegas and maybe in October. I mean, we into August at this point. It probably won't happen. But I was literally waiting on that date to drop before I booked my Usher tickets because I'm going to see some Usher. I have got to see his residency. I love Usher. He's my favorite singer, entertainer, R&B guy all time. And I'm like, if I could just knock out two birds with one stone, go see Usher Friday night, see the fight that night. But the fight taking so long, so I'm about to book my tickets for that October date.
Come with an agenda.
I gotta put that on the agenda, man. I love me some Usher. I gotta see him before he leaves the residency. So you like the Raiders? I actually predicted the Raiders are coming out the AFC. I think that they're going to represent the AFC in the championship.
I ain't gonna fight you on that. I'm a roll.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that's fighting me on that, Josiah. But I stand 10 toes. I'm
in LA, so I would love to see a Rams Raiders, Super Bowl. I think that would be phenomenal. Wasn't Rams played in Anaheim back in the day?
I didn't even think about that.
Rams played in Anaheim back in the day, so none of us are really rocking with them. Obviously, Raiders leave. We don't have a football team for years. They come back to SoFi right in the heart of Inglewood. That's right near where I grew up at. So I got to rock with the Rams squad. It's funny. I was just at the ESPYs last night. Yeah. And for those who don't know, Jalen Ramsey probably my favorite player in the league. So I got to meet Jalen Ramsey. He was cool. It was just like things like that, man. But so you want to root for that squad. Aaron Donald, Matt Stafford, obviously everything he dealt with the Lions and just the years and years and years of misery to be able to come out to no knock to Detroit, but to be able to lead Detroit to come to LA, win a Super Bowl. So not trying to be no bandwagon on there. I just like it because, look, SoFi is close. I love the stadium. So if I'm going to go watch some football, Rams are more convenient than the Raiders, but I want to get out to Vegas too and check them out as well.
So check it. I was out in LA for the Super Bowl. Okay. And so when they won, I don't know if you know my guy Mark Gunnels. Mark Gunnels.
I love Mark. Yeah, saw Mark in Summer League too.
Yeah.
I did his pod. I never met him in real life. We both in LA, and he rose up on me at Summer League, and that's another thing. If you ever get a chance and you love basketball, get to Summer League. Much better than
I'm going next year.
I'm going next first year weekend probably the best, just in terms of from the tourist standpoint and the traffic. Because by that second weekend, everybody's burnt out. But you'll see anybody you want to see. You can go dap them up. Everybody's cool. And for me, I just love seeing these rookies and this kind of second year, third year guys, next generation of players. Now, this is their first opportunity to play, but they're in the hotels hanging out, not turning up, not doing nothing. But, I saw so many different GMs, execs, and for anybody who wants to get into basketball space as well.
I'm hearing it's the same thing with the combine, though. Like the NFL combine is a hot spot too.
Combine different though, just because I used to work at NFL Network, so did a ton of combines. It's different because it's for me. It's kind of like the Olympics almost from the standpoint of like everybody's locked in. They've got every different positional group has their day, and that's where they got to rock out. But once their thing is over, they take off. Where Summer League, all those teams are out there. Guys might not be playing, but they're all out there for those 10 days. They got a couple of day breaks in between games. I think they're playing like 4 or 5 games total over that 10-day window. So there's a lot of downtime. And like I said, you could just be rolling through hotel lobbies, casinos, whatever. And, there goes Paolo Banchero. And there's Chet Holmgren. And, there's Jabari Smith and that whole crew. Damn, we got the whole Grizzlies staying at the hotel. And there's Darvin Ham and Rob Pelinka and Sean Martin. I was at the Wynn getting, my little exercise in the morning. Rob Pelinka rolls in. I'm like, okay. And then like 5 minutes later, Sean Marks rolls in. I'm thinking in my head, like, we're about to get this Kyrie deal done. Like, They moving. I'm texting people like, yo, but that's just kind of the stuff you'll see out
You
there.
supposed to drop some input, Josiah. You supposed to slip a note or something. Be like, look, this what
I
y'all
posted a
got.
cryptic tweet after because I didn't know what it really. Everybody's like, oh, what's going down? I was like, look, I'm just telling you, I'm at the win and some stuff's cracking. I can't really get into specifics. I ain't trying to get kicked out the hotel, but like all these dudes, I'm literally riding an exercise bike next to Monty Williams. Like I didn't bother him, but it's just like, all right, we both
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
it in.
that's
Like,
dope. That's
and
gotta be
it's
dope.
just a normal thing. But I think anybody who wants to, I think the one thing I learned being out there, I know it's just kind of off subject, but you see kind of how people get the information they get, how they'll be able to establish themselves, and kind of the cliques that develop out there amongst the media types, the teams, and all this stuff. And I think there needs to be more there. You talk about the league and it's 60-70% black, but behind the scenes, front office, executive level, that doesn't seem to be the case. Now we've got obviously a tremendous amount of black coaches in the league now that are opening up a lot of doorways and opportunities for others, but go out there and really, like I said, go out there, you talk about Usher and you do all the fun stuff too, but go out there with an agenda to really meet people, shake hands. I met a kid out there, he's about 23 years old. He wanted to be a GM. So the NBA, I think, offered some type of class or courses where, you could go out there and do some stuff and learn, but investigate and research and do that side too. So come out there with an agenda, right? Where you're trying to build yourself and elevate yourself. Yeah. Go watch some great basketball and all that good stuff. Go see some Usher. But also, hey, if I'm trying to be a GM or whatever, you got about 30 gyms that are going to be out there that you can roll up on. All 30 of them might not be cool, but all it's going to take is that one cool gym. All right, yeah, we got internships, we got whatever, and you're going to open up a lot of doorways for yourself. So most important thing, whatever you want to do in this space, like even yourself, reaching out to me to book an interview. Like a lot of people may not respond, may not do whatever. That's fine. Don't take that stuff personal. Just keep building.
Yep.
Don't trip on it.
I shot my shot and you replied, and I'm like, we kind of talk. He'll laugh at some of the stuff that I replied to on his show. So but I'm definitely at that point. What's for me is for me. What's for you is for you, and those that are listening, what's for you is for you. Like it's not gonna pass you. You know what I mean? So that's a great point. So staying in the association though, really quick. What's up with your Lakers? Are they doing anything next season? I mean, do you not really want to make a prediction until maybe a Kyrie move is made? I'm hearing that the call with AD, Russ, and LeBron was kind of like smoke and mirrors. Like, what's your talk on that? What's your thought?
I mean, obviously, it was tough for everybody last year to see that squad, especially with all the hype and fanfare at the beginning of the season. I think the thing that people don't really talk about is that Anthony Davis only played half the year. Now, playoff LeBron, that's one thing. But for LeBron, at year 19 to have to carry the load for the entire regular season, it didn't make sense. Obviously, you would have hoped that the squad would have had a better result, at least made the playoffs and kind of did those type of things. But AD played like 40, 42 games, whatever it was. So this is a person who's supposed to be now, the franchise player. We can all say it's LeBron, but at the end of the day, AD's younger. You got the fresher legs. He was supposed to lead the charge during the regular season. Obviously, can't do that. So I want to say that trio of LeBron, Russ, and AD only played like 20, 21 games together. Granted, I think they were like 11 and 10 in those games, but you just didn't get to see that squad. So I think there was a lot of hype, a lot of fanfare built around it. Russ never really looked like he was comfortable. And if a move's not made and he does stay, I think bringing in a guy like Darvin Ham, who I got a tremendous amount of respect for. My dad works for Milwaukee Bucks, so I've got to spend a lot of time out there in Milwaukee. Met Coach Ham a few times and just converse with him. I think he's going to command a lot of respect. He's from Saginaw, Michigan. He's not a dude to be trifled with. When your coach is 6'8", 250, and it's just you're not going, you're going to really lock in. You're going to have that respect from the jump. So I think him coming in right away saying, I talked to Russ and we talked about sacrifice and really focusing on the defensive side. Russ being put in a position where, KD years with the Thunder when Harden was there as well, it was a little different. But for the most part, the last 5, 6, 7 seasons, he's been running stuff on his own. He's been that franchise guy, triple doubles, all that good stuff. So hopefully they all have kind of a come to Jesus moment. They can figure it out if a deal's not made. I'm hearing, the Kyrie stuff. There's also that Buddy Hield talk and kind of other stuff going on out there. Russ firing his agent, and if I'm Russ, from LA, how much I love the Lakers. Russ, a big Kobe fan, and just seeing the way that fan base treated him, I probably wouldn't want to stick around. I know Lakers fans, say good riddance, but this is a guy who still has some good mileage left. Who still has some good basketball to be played. I think last year was a learning experience. Like, again, obviously not the way anybody would have hoped it would have went. Right. But if this big three does stay together and AD can be healthy, LeBron can be healthy going into year 20, Russ can be healthy, and they can somehow find that balance. Because you do have three phenomenal basketball players who know, it's tough when LeBron's saying things like, yo, he'd welcome Kyrie to the Lakers and all that good stuff to now jump on the phone with Russ. I was summer league game, LeBron on one side of the court, Russ on the other side. Those are type of things that you definitely lock in on. And I was
Yeah.
at that game, and you kind of look in, and it's like, damn, these dudes aren't even talking with each other. Which is a stark contrast from the year previous when they pulled up the summer league together and kind of reflection on everybody. But at the end of the day, if this is the squad they got to roll out, I'm cautiously optimistic that they can make it work. Now is that
Now, what
championship?
about you? You don't have no faith in the other LA team.
I'll look.
I don't know if you've been seeing my stuff, but I'm a Paul George stan.
Now my dad played with the Clippers growing up, so I definitely
Okay.
got a ton of love for. And it's you meet people in LA.
Yeah.
I don't really care about all that beef. I'm more of a I went to UCLA, but UCLA football I love
Yeah.
USC football as well. Like I want these squads to go out and dominate. Now when UCLA plays SC, I want UCLA to smack them up. That's just me. Same thing with the Lakers and Clippers. I don't want the Clippers to be trash. I want the bat of LA to be exciting. Like who want to go see two whack teams play each other, right?
True.
We want to see two of the best teams in the league going at it. So I think Kawhi coming back healthy. They've been making moves, and I love Steve Ballmer as an owner because he doesn't have, he's the richest owner in the league. He don't got no fear in dropping bags, and obviously they're getting ready to move to that arena in Inglewood in the near future. So he wants to really build this squad up, and he's got no problem throwing bags where they need to be thrown to make things happen. And that's what you want
I
to see. And
love the draw ball.
not a knock on Genie or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's just, when you're playing with owners like the Warriors, and I think the Warriors really have kind of established what this league needs to be. They're willing to go $200 million into the luxury tax to grab a winner. And it's like, but keep their own guys. And I think that's an important thing. They've drafted well. Why should they have to lose, a Steph or a Draymond or a Clay? Because they did a good job of drafting well. And, obviously with that down year without Clay for those 2 seasons and that squad being able to build up in the draft too and revitalize. But this is what it is. So I'm rocking with the Lakers. I think a couple more moves need to be made. We'll see what's going to happen. Like if they made that Kyrie deal, I think that's a whole other level for all the baggage and negativity that Kyrie gets.
Y'all Laker fans going to get on my nerves if
Easy.
LeBron and Kyrie link back up. It's going to be great for the media side. Or as a media head, I'm going to love it. I'm going to love every bit of it.
And they broke up, that Cleveland breakup, I don't think anybody wanted to see, but the kind of writing was on the wall there. Yeah. Kyrie's gone around and explored. And I don't honestly, I know KD, I feel like KD made that trade request just to light a fire, in the Nets organization. And I just don't see, especially after that Gobert trade, I don't know, what's going to take for the Nets. The Nets got him under contract for 4 more years. KD loves basketball, so I don't see him holding out or doing any of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and ultimately, it's like you got Ben Simmons, KD, and Kyrie on a roster.
Yeah.
KD may want to get traded, but it's like if I got to stay, that's not a bad squad to have at my disposal.
Yeah. And I think ultimately that they'll end up running it back. And again, you ain't worried about too much of the COVID stuff. Kyrie can play. Hopefully he'll be available enough. So, we'll see how they go. I can't wait to see your reaction to throughout the year, how these Lakers pan out. It's going to be.
It was hard.
Wait to see those memes coming. I can't wait.
we held out hope to the final moments, but the writing started to be on the wall about midway through the year. It's like what's going on? AD. The crazy thing about AD, I love AD, but it's like every time AD gets hurt, it looks like it's like career-ending injury. Like he'll get shaken up in games sometimes, and it's like
I don't know, Josiah. I feel like on my side, on my timeline, at this point when he go down, people be like, "Oh, all right, well, we'll see him in 6 weeks." You know what I'm saying? Like people kind of know he hurt, he okay, but we're not gonna see him for a couple of weeks. So we'll see. Hopefully that's not the case. We never wish injury on any player. So
he's grinding. He's working out hard.
I know. He
there were some of the jokes early on, like I ain't picked up a ball or whatever, but he's been in the gym grinding. So excited to see him this year.
Of course. So you had a good time at the ESPYs. We won't really have to touch on to that too much, but you had a good time at the ESPYs. I know that was probably like I saw your post, like something you didn't even imagine. The invite, like
ESPYs as a like the after parties and that type of stuff, just from a networking standpoint. Again, like I always say, now I don't go to these places for fun, right? I'm not going. If I'm going to turn up, I'm going to accomplish some business as well. So shake hands, meet people, in this game. But just being around so many, amazingly talented athletes, just gold medal winners, NBA champions, people that are champions of their sport. The show was a little too long. I don't know what the viewing experience was like for everybody at home, but I'm thinking like, all right, ain't no way this thing can be longer than 2 hours. It started at 5 Pacific time. The actual show did. About 7, I'm like, all right, this thing got to wrap up soon. But then they still hadn't given away the Jimmy V Awards. And I know Dick Vitale was going to go out there and go hard. about 14, 15-minute speech, beautiful thing. I'm moved to tears. Then I look back,
Yeah.
we don't get out of that thing till about 8 o'clock. And by that point, I'm just, really honestly, it was, beautiful air conditioning in there, but it was a little hot in LA that day. So I'm walking around trying to make sure I'm not
Oh,
musty or,
yeah.
it's just like, I got,
Listen, I love how you keep it real, man. You can tell you love.
they had an after
I love
party
you
at the
keep it
Roosevelt
real.
Hotel. It's a true story. I'm with
Mm,
my agent. We're getting ready to go to the uninterrupted function. So
uh-huh.
I go to the lobby of the Roosevelt. I'm like, look, man, y'all got a gift store. I need to buy some deodorant real quick. I just need to spritz up. My man goes in the back. He's in there for like a little too long. So I'm like, all right, he can't come back out empty-handed. He went on a deep search, came through. He's like, I got you.
I
Now he
love
was
it. I love
resurrected.
it. Hey, I love the improvising. Look, do what you gotta do. You can't be going to no event smelling all, funny
So
because
I'm
the
asking
person
everybody, like,
you
yo,
shake hands
can you
with.
smell me? Like, I can't be known as stinky boy at these events. Like, because that's the type, somebody
Absolutely
stinky.
not. Yeah,
Everybody has
absolutely.
everybody's
Yeah.
body odor is their body odor. I'm not here to knock or judge, but it's like, wait a minute, like Josiah not smelling right. Like that's what they're gonna be remembering. Oh, there goes Stinky Boy.
No, I love that. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Well, look, I'm glad you got your deodorant, man. I'm glad that you ain't
It
going
was
as stinky
vital.
boy. First impressions are the best impressions, are the most important ones. So yeah, shout out to him for taking one for the team, going in there, getting the goddamn deodorant. Okay,
I
shout out to
appreciate
him.
my
So
man at the Roosevelt lobby or Roosevelt the front desk. You came through.
shout
You
out,
are an
hey, shout out to
unsung hero.
you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. So we're wrapping up. Thanks again for tapping in. What's new with you, man? What projects do you have going on? Any foundations you got that you would like folks on About Nothing But Sports to know about? What's new for you?
So
What's coming up in the future?
So just no chill with Gilbert Arenas on Fubo, out of pocket on waving buckets. I'm doing some work with the Premier Lacrosse League, which I'm super super duper excited about. I tapped in with them last year. They reached out to have me come do some social promotion for their All-Star game. Didn't know much about the league. Any leagues that I work with that I'm not super familiar with, I'm always just like, look, let me really help elevate the Black athletes in the league and really kind of lock in there. Lacrosse for the most part is an East Coast sport. Obviously super white. So a lot of people just in underserved communities don't really know about it, but to just get the opportunity to go out there and work with them. I'm actually headed out to New York this week. They got games in Fairfield, Connecticut. So I'm excited to pull up with them and just stuff they're doing in the community, and just being able to see a league, being its first couple of years and now really trying to make a push. They just got a bunch of funding from like KD and WWE and Josiah and a bunch of other people. So doing some stuff with them that I'm super excited about, working with Showtime Basketball, that crew over there, Matt Barnes, my former teammate at UCLA, with him and Stack, been able to do all the smoke, and KG,
Yeah,
what he's doing with his stuff over there, Paul Pierce, J.R. Smith, Jamal Crawford, the rest of the Showtime Basketball family, just to be able, I was out there in Vegas with them doing live shows, and just to be able, I have the opportunity, I've known Matt for more than 20 years, but just to sit with him and just to see the way, him along with like the Knuckleheads and Gilbert Arenas as well, have created this kind of lane for us to be real and authentic and say what we want to say and be how we want to be. And these guys, Matt and Stack weren't, Hall of Famers or anything like that, but what they've been able to establish with their pod, and now they're Hall of Famers in that space and just dominate the game. So just to be around them for a week and a half and soak up as much knowledge and wisdom and, just doing a bunch of different stuff. So I'm super, it's great for me to be able to kind of, it's kind of like Wizard of Oz. Everybody sees the Avi and they don't know what's behind the Avi. To now get to see my face, get to see me doing a bunch of stuff. And I know basketball, and that's the thing that people used to kind of come at me. Oh, you don't know. It's like, look, I know basketball, but I just want to keep the jokes going. Like there's
yeah,
enough people
of course.
talking analytics and
Yeah,
this
plenty of
and
people.
that. They
That's the
got
beauty of
that
being
covered.
you and staying in your lane. Is you're standing out and doing stuff that nobody else is doing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that's how you're standing out. So I love that. I
Well, I
absolutely love that.
appreciate you.
Well, I can't wait to see more projects. Let's do this rapid fire real quick because I
Let's
told you I
get it.
wasn't gonna hold
I
you long.
already know. I'm like, are you gonna skip past
I'm
that?
gonna,
I'm like, let's
I'm gonna
get
do
it.
it. Absolutely not. We're gonna cram this in, right? So okay, so I'm gonna give you about 6 or 7 questions, this or that, either or. I was gonna time you, but I'm not gonna time you.
I'll be quick.
All right, cool. Yeah, I don't have to time you. I mean, that's usually like a goal y'all try to, my guests try to make. But are you ready?
I'm ready to do it.
All right. Tupac or Biggie?
Pop.
In and Out or Whataburger?
In and Out. I never rock with Whataburger. I mean, but I'm not, again, like, what you like, but I don't know how you could come to LA, eat some In and Out, and not say that's the best fast food burger in the game, but that's me. The fries are
Dwayne
trash, though. The fries are trash in and out. I'll just say that.
Dwayne Wade or Allen Iverson?
Ooh, AI. No knock to D Wade though, but AI.
Hey, you answered that too quick, Josiah. I don't know if I
Hey,
like that response.
I got to work the Iverson Classic out in Memphis. Got to meet. I mean, just when AI walked, the love that he has, just watching him hug dudes. You know,
I get it.
seeing him hug John Moran about 9 times in a 1 minute
Facts.
window. But just the love that he has for these dudes, hearing him talk to the players and stuff. And that's not a knock on D Wade because me and D Wade came up in the same era, and I got a tremendous amount of love and respect for him too.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Dak Prescott or Derek Carr?
Ooh, D Car, just Raiders all day.
Oh,
And Cowboys fans don't
Dwayne,
come
come
for me.
on, man.
But Dak got
Come
the
on,
hips.
man.
You got the hips don't lie. No,
Come
I
on,
rock with
man.
Dak too.
Come on, man. Beyonce or Rihanna?
Ooh, Beyonce.
All right,
But
that's it. You
that's a
good?
good one
That's
though.
it. That's it right there. That's your.
I'm
So
not gonna have
now,
the Bayhive coming for me.
so now y'all know a little more about Mr. Josiah. Beach or mountains? He loved him some In-N-Out burger. You know, make sure that y'all check it out. So that's the best burger spot. Before you go, what's the number one food spot you would recommend right now? If I was to come out to LA tomorrow, what's the food spot you telling me to run to?
Ooh.
What about Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles? Is that
Roscoe? It's real touristy now, and it's
good?
overpriced. I still rock with like that's the staple of LA. If you come out this way,
Okay.
I'm big like sushi, so I eat a lot of sushi. So I would say
I
like
like sushi.
Sugarfish. Sugarfish
Okay.
is the spot. It's like fast food sushi, but like super high quality, like freshest ingredients. You know, so all that type of stuff. But I don't really even go out like that. I also like, let me think, like Mastro's out here. If you really want to ball out and have a
Okay.
really good meal, good steakhouse,
Okay.
like Mastro's is the
I
spot to
don't
go.
like steak.
So
Steak, lobster, lemon pepper wings are the most 3 overrated foods of my life.
ooh, okay. Okay. Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm feeling. I'm not a lemon pepper guy either. I'll have them, but I've never really understood just the fascination with them.
People love them. People love them. People love them.
That's not
Well,
my first wing choice.
thank you again for tapping in, man. I appreciate you. Please let everybody know where they can follow you on social and
King
where they can
Josiah
grab your
54.
podcast and stuff.
So King Josiah 54. Out of Pockets on the At Buckets channel. No Chill with Gilbert Arenas on Fubo Sports, and then Showtime Basketball at Show Basketball. Doing some different stuff with them, some social stuff, some hosting. So I just try to keep these kids fed and keep, you know.
Okay, and they eat you out of house and home. Okay,
You
I
already
know
know.
mine do. You guys know that you can follow me on social media at Ashley Baker _21 on Twitter and on Instagram at Ashley Baker Facebook, and make sure that you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel About Nothing But Sports. Make sure that you go and subscribe to the Apple and the Spotify channel where you can find this podcast, because this is just one of the dope fire guests that I have. I have more coming down the line. So thank you guys again for tapping in. Josiah, thank you so much for joining me. I really enjoyed the conversation. I really appreciate you. I am the type that will hit you up later and be like, what can I improve on, you know, during the show, stuff like that. So I'm one of those people. I'm always looking to learn. So
Please
just
do.
thank you for being here, man.
I appreciate you for having me. I'm so glad we got to get this done. Let me know when you need me to hop back on. You know, I'll be around.
I appreciate you. You guys, same time, same place next week. See you later.